Hey y'all, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a video about the favorite books that I read in 2021. I generally read a wide variety of books like Christian fiction, contemporary romance, historical settings, some nonfiction as well, young adult, fantasy. So it's a pretty wide range of different genres and books and everything. In 2021, I read 28 books. That was pretty good for me considering I have a 3-year-old now, and he kept me really busy last year. Most of that was listened on audiobook or ebooks. So as I talk about them, I'll put pictures here, of course. But yeah, just really busy and tied up all the time with him. So I feel like that's pretty good. This year, I have set my goal to read 40 books. And so far, I think I've read 7 or 8. I think it's 7. So on track pretty good. Just trying to get through some books this year, a little bit more than normal. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So the first book I want to talk about is Submerged by Danny Petrie. Really liked that book. I heard about this book from Oshina on Oshina Gotta Read 'Em All. That's her YouTube channel. I'll link it below. She has a lot of great videos on Christian fiction books and just faith in general. So really like her, following her. But yeah, this book was awesome. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's a Christian fiction mystery, basically, with a romance included that's set in Alaska. The main character, Bailey Craig, she is coming back to her hometown in Alaska because of a loved one who has passed away in a plane crash. And so she's having to come back for the funeral, and there's a lot of reputation for her in that town. She has a bad reputation in that town. And she doesn't really want to see anyone. So when she gets there, she's just pretty much like, oh, I don't want to see anybody. I just want to go do this funeral stuff and get out of here because people judge her and she feels judged because of her past. And so, but she runs into this guy, Cole, who is a rescue diver. And the guy, I guess it's kind of like the guy she left behind in a way. They run into each other. And there's a lot of mystery going on. Everything kind of takes off from there. So this is a clean read. It's a Christian fiction, like I said. It is good. There's definitely a lot more behind that plane crash than everyone thinks there is. So, which you can kind of tell at the beginning from the way the intro is, that there's more to it that they're all going to have to figure out, right? There's a mystery involved with that. Kind of like what happened? What's the storyline there? So, but yeah, Bailey's definitely not the girl that she used to be, but everyone treats her like she was. And so there's the good faith content in this as well, where it shows us how unconditional God's love really is for us. No matter what we've done in our past, God still loves us no matter what. And so that really shows through here. And so, like I said, she's definitely not the girl she used to be. Cole and Bailey kind of work together to figure out what's happened in the plane crash, what's all the mysteries and stuff going on. All the mysterious things that are happening, and so he's really sweet as well. I loved his character. I loved how their romance blossomed when they came back together, and he really cared for her. He knew that she wasn't the same anymore. So like I said, I love the faith content in this as well. The Alaska setting is really great. I love books set in Alaska anyway, so that was a plus for me. This was just a really great read, 4.5 stars, and I highly recommend it. And I want to continue with the series at some point. The next book I want to talk about is Flights of Fancy by Jen Toronto, and this was a 5-star read for me. I loved this story. This is a clean read. Of course, a Christian fiction, has great faith content. It's about an heiress named Isadora, and she's basically where her mother is pressuring her to marry a duke that is not a good guy. Shocker, right? So that classic storyline of, her parents want you to marry someone that not a good guy, so you don't want to marry him. So, but he's not a great guy, and she escapes from this high society lifestyle, and she ends up finding herself as an unlikely candidate as a housekeeper in rural Pennsylvania. So she's hiding out. Nobody really knows who she is. She's took off, doesn't want to marry this duke, and she finds herself being this housekeeper. And it was really funny because she didn't even know how to boil water. And so it was really funny to see that play out. And just this high society heiress trying to be a housekeeper and all that things she was trying to learn how to do. That was hilarious. I found myself laughing throughout the story quite a bit. As I'm sure most of you would think, there's going to be a love story in this. So Isadora meets this guy Ian, and they both grow throughout the story. They have obstacles that they overcome, and it's kind of like where God wants them to be. You can kind of see that in the story. Ian Mackenzie is charmed by her, basically. They find each other, they both find each other interesting, and but then there's some mysterious events happening on the farm, and everybody's just trying to figure out what's going on. So there's a mystery aspect as well. I love this so much. It was a great historical setting, great faith content. Glory Manor was really great to read about. The details on that was great. The children, the relationships, the characters, everything was just great. I love seeing Isadora and Ian grow together as well throughout the story to overcome their obstacles that they had. The chemistry between them was great. I also loved Aunt Birdie so much. Her and Uncle Amos, they reminded me of like sweet little grandparents that we all know and love. So that was really great. And then the ending was just really perfect, honestly. So I can't say enough good things about this. You know, like I said, it's mystery aspect. There's romance. It's clean. It's a Christian fiction, has great faith content, and it has that great historical setting in that manner back then. So it was great. So 5 stars. Next book that I'm going to talk about, it was one I got off NetGalley actually, and it was a 5-star read for me. It read just like a movie, honestly. It was The Crown of Rosemund by Michelle Ashman Bell. I really like this. This was a great book to read. 5 stars. Basically, this is a story of like a king and queen are murdered and somebody else wants the throne. And so the young princess, Rosemund, has survived and is now hiding out in the woods with a trusted advisor to try to take care of her. And he's kind of like a grandfather to her. And so she's being hunted by soldiers who will not rest until she's found. And so this is a Christian fiction, kind of like got that medieval style background as well, castles and all of that stuff, soldiers. And so she starts training for battle, and she's endured a bunch of hardships and dangers and all these different things by herself. And Maxwell, who's a young man from a nearby village, comes along, and everything kind of takes off from there. If I remember, she was pretending to be a little boy so she wouldn't be caught as the princess. And then, you know, she's training and fighting and trying to survive basically in the wilderness away from the soldiers who are after her to try to get her throughout this whole process. They're trying to find her and capture her pretty much. So they'll stop at nothing, it seems like. This was an outstanding historical fiction read for me. It was filled with adventure. I absolutely loved this story. The details surrounding the setting, the time period, the castles, the location, the characters. I could see this being a movie or TV show, honestly. It was that good. So if you really like the medieval time period, you like Christian fiction, you'll really like this. This also has some aspects of faith in it where they discuss prayer, God, and heaven, sprinkled throughout the story. Rosamund's character and growth was really great. You could see how she grew in her character, and she constantly was fighting for the people that she cared about, regardless, whether it's the people of the town or her close family or her friends. So she was constantly worried about those people. Like there's parts where they try to help others and by bringing them food, and when they had plenty of food, that they were going to help the others of the town. So that was really great to see. And so overall, this is a wonderful story, great ending. I couldn't put it down. I read it really quickly, and so I was really thankful to receive that, to read, for review, and I really liked it. The next book that I want to talk about is A Dance in Donegal by Jennifer Dabble. This was so great. I got this from NetGalley as well last year, and this was a 5-star read for me. Jennifer has such a way of writing about Ireland that will make you feel like you're transported to Ireland, that you love the setting, and just everything about it was just wonderful. I really liked how her writing style, she's great with that. This story is about an Irish-American woman named Moria, and her mom passed away, and she's having to fulfill her mom's wish of becoming a teacher and moving to Ireland, a Ballyman teacher in Donegal, Ireland. So she's basically in this new home, a new job, a foreign place, And it's kind of like this ancient time period for her, because when she goes over there, there's, I think where she lived, it was just kind of like run down and stuff. So she just didn't really know what she was going to do. And she didn't really feel welcome, because there's these rumors as well about her mom. And like, you don't really know kind of why they don't like her, like Moria, and what is it about her mom that they thought they knew about her mom. So like I said, there's all these rumors going on. You don't really know why they don't like her. She doesn't feel welcome, until there's this one guy named Sean that they really, he really tries to help her throughout the story. And there's other friends and family that does try to help her throughout as well. And I like that aspect. There is also a cute romance in this, of course. So really liked that between the characters. The faith content was great. How to show God's love to others, even including your enemies. How God will lead you exactly where you're meant to be in that moment. Even if you don't fully understand what's going on, or what's going on in the middle of, even if you don't fully understand or what's going on in the middle of that experience, how to show God's love with the forgiveness of others. And there's just so much of that in this story that's embedded in that. And so I really, really liked that. I really liked getting that from this story. I love there was a lot of scriptures referenced throughout. There's parts where she's reading the Bible to this guy who was not good to her. And Moria was also a beautiful character. She had amazing character growth. Seeing her help someone who meant her harm from the very beginning. She felt moved by the Lord to help this person, and they meant her harm throughout the whole thing at the beginning. And so they were, she was able to help that person. She went through criticism and judgment from everyone surrounding her. She was dealing with loss and grief and finding love in that process. So this was, like I said, this was quite a journey for her, and I loved seeing that come to fruition for her. The best part about this story is truly the characters, the relationships. I love the way that Ireland is portrayed in this story. And so, like I said, 5-star read. Y'all definitely got to read this book. It was so good. The next book I want to talk about is Cross Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh. I had a lot of Christmas books that I wanted to read last year, and I didn't get to a lot of them, but this was one that was a favorite of mine. It was 5 stars. Basically, Lauren is not a fan of Christmas. She's having to go across country, make this trip. This is for her brother who's having a baby, and only option she has, she's afraid of flying. So the only option she has really is to travel with this guy she had a crush on back in the day. And so she's basically stuck in a car with him from California to Illinois, and he's wanting to take like this road trip, and she's like, I don't want to do that. So we just go straight there, and she's not wanting to be in the car with him, but she kind of is forced to be, and he's kind of want to take these side quests. So this was so fun. I need this to be a movie or a show or something. This was just like a classic, lovely Hallmark movie. It was clean. It was beautiful. It's a Christian fiction. You had faith aspects in the story. People, like, she basically thought that he was somebody else, the same guy he was in his past, and all this stuff was going on there. And they both are dealing with some past regrets and things, and trying to come into their own. And he loves Christmas. He has a great family who loves Christmas, and he's a really great guy, and you find out all these good things about him and who he really is, and he's not really who she thought he was. And so she starts realizing that, and kind of everything goes from there. So this was a great, cute little read. It was adorable. I definitely recommend reading this at Christmas time. It was fun, clean, and just a great romance. So the next book I want to talk about is The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. This is a book of the month that I got. I actually have a physical copy. So most of these I have were on ebooks or audiobooks. So I got this on book of the month last year, and it was so cute. It's clean. It was so fun. It's basically like a sweet, to me, this was like, if you like Hallmark movies and you like shows that have like food, anything that's got food or a bakery in it, you're going to love this. This was so cute. It's got that these twin sisters basically swap lives, and there's a romance, and there's baking, and one of them owns a bakery, the other's on a baking competition show, and they kind of come to know a lot about their own lives. It's not a Christian fiction book, but it is a clean read, and it was a cute little romance. It was a cute little romance. If you love baking, Hallmark Christmas movies, sweet romance stories, you're going to like this. This is a 4.5 star for me. the experience, the family aspect, and the experiences that the two sisters had together, where they each learned something when they swapped each other's lives. That was really nice to see. And some of it's, kind of cheesy, predictable, but I like that. I think that's what we all like in a Hallmark Christmas movie, right? I mean, that's why we like them. So overall, a great Christmas read. About is An Unexpected Amish Proposal by Rachel Good. The story is about all these different characters at this local farmers market. Everyone loves this farmers market. There's great little shops, and they basically they're driven to be evicted, right? And so there's all of a sudden this mysterious reason that they don't have to go right away. And so the characters in the story were great. The journey that they all go through together. The story has love, purpose, friends. It's clean. It's a Christian fiction. There's second chances involved. God's plan and purpose in their lives was shown throughout this story. It's a very important theme. The characters made this story really great for me. I loved Gideon, Fern, Nick, Aiden, and Mrs. Vandenberg. They were so wonderful. I enjoyed how everyone came together as a team to help each other when they needed it in this farmer's market. It made you think about what it means to be a true friend to someone. The romance was sweet, clean. I love the ending. But more than the romance, I just love the loyalty that all the characters had for each other. Gideon's story was also very powerful, and he shows us what it's like to be a true Christian to others in need. And so no matter what you feel like is impossible, God always makes it possible. So overall, this is a great story, 4.5 stars. They all just had these different challenges, and God showed his love through all of the whole process and helped others as they were going through this. So really enjoyed this, and I was glad that I read it. So let me know if you've read any of these books. What did you think of them? What were some of your favorite reads last year? I'd love to know in the comments below. Again, I just want to thank you all for watching my video and being so encouraging in the comments as I start my new channel. I wasn't really sure if this is something I wanted to do. A little nervous about it, of course, but this has been something kind of fun for me to do, and I love engaging with you all in the comments. So again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.